This is a mess and I already regret taking this apart for this video. The things that I do for YouTube. Okay, so as soon as I sit down into the editing bay, I realized I took the whole thing apart and I tried to make a cheesy transition that didn't work. So we're just gonna pretend that that worked and that I'm cooler than I actually am. So people seem to really love hearing about and talking about rigs, and it's like one of those things where it's like an endless game and there's no right or wrong way to do it. And there's some hilarious rigs out there and there's some super simple ones that are broken down. I feel like I've been rigging cameras up for long enough now. It's probably been, probably 3 or 4 years at least that I've been throwing everything at the rigs, trying to make them better for mainly wedding filmmaking. But I find it goes across to every other aspect of filmmaking that I do. You like what you're comfortable with and what you get used to. But enough rambling, I'm gonna get into what I use and why I like to use it. So the first part of it is my main camera that I use now. I have a lot of cameras, but this is the go-to. This is the one for the go-to rig. It's the Lumix S1ii. If you follow my videos, you know that I've been using this for a little bit. Pretty stoked on this little guy, or big guy, however you wanna look at it. I got the cage on it already. I didn't feel like taking the cage off for this video, but it's nothing fancy, just your basic Smallrig cage that they had available when it first came out. There might be more now. I prefer this style of cage over something like the Black Mamba that Smallrig does. It's like a little bit more low pro. I have that on one of my S1iis. And it's a sick cage, but I just don't find it like robust enough. It's got some flex in it and stuff. It's a little bit lightweight. There's better access to buttons and things, but this one has kept me going pretty good. So the cool part about the Smallrig cage is attached to the bottom, there's an Arca Swiss plate, so you can get your V-mount mounted right away, which is sick. And it's super low pro compared to like having rails sticking out off your camera and stuff like that. And like the big base plate. Stoked that they came out with that. And of course you have your Smallrig battery, your V-mount goes on the back. Super nice and easy, like that. Looks really funny without a lens on it. Next, that being said, the go-to lens is the Blazar Remus 50mm that I have right here. I got the whole set, or most of the set, but this is my favorite out of all of them. This is my favorite go-to for like the workhorse lens. So that being said, anamorphic lenses for the most part don't have autofocus, especially the ones that I decided to go with. That's probably a new thing coming very soon, I would imagine. But in the meantime, I wanted to just have that option if I wanted it. And the best option I found was the DJI Focus Pro, also recommended by a good buddy of mine who shoots anamorphic. Shout out Jay. And really liked how it worked. Basically, I grabbed his rig that had this all set up on it. I was like, oh, done. Like, I want this. This works great. Again, I didn't want to take this all apart because it's a pain in the butt, but I found a really good mounting system for it. There's a lot of different ways, but Smallrig has this handle. It's like, they call it like a modular handle or a modular handle for the Focus Pro or something like that. You're able to mount that on there pretty well. So you pretty much just drop that on there with your 3/8 screw, and tighten it on there, and it's on there. It's nice and close to your lens, which is great. Downwards and side to side. I also always recommend using a tool to tighten it all down, not finger tight, because that's how things fall apart. We don't want the whole handle falling off that's holding your $10,000 camera. I'm also Canadian, so prices might sound wild, but I'm not embellishing, I promise. This mess of cords I'm moving because it's distracting me and I'm dropping them everywhere. So the next thing, shooting anamorphic, I was also recommended to use a monitor just for grabbing focus. They can be a little bit softer, especially more on the wider open end of things. And I've already been shooting with monitors for years. I decided to go with this Shinobi 2. It's a 5-inch monitor. I have a 7-inch as well, and I've been using that for a while, but I just found with the size of this rig already, it just felt obnoxious. I've tried it out and stuff, and I like the size of this one. It does everything I need, it's bright enough. And of course, to mount that, you're gonna need your monitor mount. Just use Smallrig monitor mount. All the links for this stuff are gonna be in the description below. And what I do like about this handle as well is it's got this little this little locking thing here. So if this comes loose, it's not gonna fall off, which I really like. That's a huge one, because again, the least amount of stuff that falls off while you're working, the best, because it's expensive and it's super embarrassing when that happens. And nobody likes to look foolish. Okay, and then the Focus Pro comes with this little handy piece to mount the rail for the motor on it, which is great. So I just mount that on there. This is gonna look so awkward and clunky because I'm doing this on camera and it's just how it goes. Sorry if you wanted an ASMR rig building video, it's not gonna happen today. So once you have that guy on there, what I'm gonna do, just to give us some extra standing height, is I throw on the tripod mount, because that gives us some more height on there so that we can sit flat when we're not using the camera. And if I could recommend anything, and you aren't doing this already, switch all of your tripods to Manfrotto type head mounts. They go along with the DJI gimbals and stuff, so you don't have to change tripod mounts. I didn't do that for years because I was lazy, and also I never spent any money on tripods for the longest time, and it's a game changer. I'd say it makes all the difference, especially if you shoot weddings, because weddings are so like go, 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 go. You don't want to be worried about which camera goes on what tripod. You just want to throw it on a tripod. So next we have this little rail. I swapped out the rail that came with the Focus Pro for some rails I already had. It's like the carbon fiber one. It's probably not really that much of a weight difference, but I wanted to have it as light as possible. Nice thing is there's all these little clamps, so it's like quick and easy to take on and off. And then you have your motor here, which this guy does all the work for you, all the heavy lifting. Next, you have this wicked handle for the Focus Pro. It's really cool. I don't know if the camera's gonna grab focus, but there's this little wheel here that you can use to pull focus. I'm obsessed with it. It's so nice. It sits really nice in your hand where you want it. So you mount that on here. And again, it's gonna be really hard to see on the camera, but there's a little locking mechanism so it can't slide off the top, which I love. And I usually just set this up so that when it sits on the table, it can sit flat and it's not gonna be doing anything too crazy. Because the best part about having this handle here is you can change your lenses. I've seen a lot of people mount it to lenses, and that's probably like the most accurate way to do it, but you can change lenses. So all you have to do is pull the motor off, change your lens, slap it on, and then you can recalibrate it on here. It takes a second, but if this thing's wobbling on a table at a wedding while I'm trying to do that, it's gonna drive you nuts. But it's also very ergonomic. It's kind of perfect. So that's kind of how I do that. So just dummy battery for the monitor. Cool thing about the size of this handle is it kind of does a good job of helping you hide cables, or not hide them, but manage them a little bit better. There's all these little slots. It keeps it up out of the way of your hands, which is great. And it's so tall as well that it keeps it out of the way. So I'm actually quite a big fan of this handle. It's pretty tall and pretty crazy and stuff. And I was like, whoa, but it's very, very useful. I should have taken a picture of this before I built it because I had these cables managed nicely, but. And you got your trusty HDMI in there. I don't use anything fancy. Probably my biggest tip for if you're building a rig like this with like a Lumix camera that can power it via USB-C is to use that and not a dummy battery. My biggest concern would be the V-mount dying mid-shoot if you're running around, and if it's like a long take or something. I mean, anything can happen. We're not perfect people. If you don't notice your battery dying, or if the battery goes kaput or something, my biggest concern is not having that footage captured. Plug that in, she's charging there nicely. We got our monitor plugged in with the dummy. I don't mind having a dummy on the monitor at all, obviously. And then this little handle's got like a nice little cold shoe mount here for the microphone. Gets it out there nice and far in the front. This one, I feel like I need to figure out a better system. I wish there was a locking spot on here too, because the microphone has fallen off on me while shooting above my head so many times, and it's so embarrassing. Because then you're like, whoa, when you're trying to scramble for it and grab it, and you look like a noob. Make sure it's plugged into the mic jack and not the headphone slot. And there you have it. that's the rig for you. Okay, so if you have any questions about any piece of gear on this, or if you guys use this stuff and have tips that I can benefit from too, hit me up in the comments. I'm probably gonna make, like I said, a video about each and every little piece of this and my thoughts on it. I put my gear through the paces. I use it a lot. So I feel like anything that I can learn to help avoid anything while on a shoot, and anything I can help you guys avoid on a shoot and stuff as well, let's do that. Let's try to make working easier.